Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be discussing the fate of RTSs after the announcement that StarCraft 2 has been stopped being supported. So, as many of you know, Blizzard has stopped supporting StarCraft 2. So this means that no updates will be happening unless there is a major bug or balance has become unfair. They've also stopped creating in-game purchase commanders or war chests, which leads to less funding for the pro scene. However, ESL and GSL will continue the pro scene of StarCraft 2 for at least 2 more years. So that's a ray of sunshine. For context, StarCraft 2 has been around for 10 years, so it is understandable that Blizzard will stop support for it. But how does this affect the RTS genre in the future, with the biggest RTS having stopped being supported? Taking a step back from StarCraft, we see that the next biggest RTS games are the Age of Empires collection, especially with Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition dropping soon. Other notable mentions are Warcraft 3 Reforged, a complete screw-up, although it has gotten a little bit better. Company of Heroes 2, Command & Conquer Red Alert 2, which was more of a reboot of a classic game, but is still good, and the recently infamous Iron Harvest. While Age of Empires is massive, in 2019, StarCraft 2 was the number 17 top PC game worldwide, something that any game, let alone an RTS, would struggle to compete with. So what are the next steps for the RTS genre? Well, as we have seen these past couple years, with the release of Age of Empires 3, Warcraft 3 Reforged, and Command & Conquer Red Alert, the RTS genre still has a chance, and it won't be going anywhere soon. But none of these releases are really new games at all. They're just reboots with some minor changes and graphic updates. The only new RTS of any substance was Iron Harvest, which was a massive flop, while seeming to appeal to a new range of players, with the amazing art, a focus on a slower playstyle and tactical positioning instead of heavy micro to win, and the awesome mechs. Iron Harvest was shaping up to be a breath of fresh air in the RTS genre, but it flopped. Why, you may ask? Well, it's because the devs didn't deliver. While the art style was neat, it can't replace the lackluster gameplay. The game is actually extremely micro-focused. There are only 3 factions with incredibly similar units. The mechs were cool, but eventually the novel feeling faded, making people feel as if their purchase was wasted, and most turned it in for a refund. So how do RTS game developers draw new players in? Game companies can draw them in. They need to have their game be approachable. And here are my steps to make an RTS game be approachable. First, reboots don't draw new players in. At least not a lot of new players in. It's mostly for old veteran players, people are still playing Command & Conquer 2 Red Alert. That reboot was for them. It may have drawn a few new players in, but it certainly didn't draw me in. As I've noticed, being relatively new to Company of Heroes 2, there are people with 8 years of experience playing this game, while I barely have 1, so this leads to a lot of stomps, even with matchmaking. So having a game that has more veteran players than new players is not enticing at all. While I realize that as a game ages, of course it's going to have more veteran players still. We're talking about a new game here. So rebooting an old game is not going to be it. So this means that games have to be new and include enough new mechanics that both new and old RTS fans will be set back by the learning curve, providing more of a balanced playing field. I don't mean to entirely change the RTS genre just for new players, but if we're just making whatever StarCraft 3, it's still basically going to be the same, and veteran players of StarCraft 2 are still going to be insane. So new mechanics will help to kind of even it. Obviously, old RTS players will still be incredible at the game, but it just gives new players more of a chance. So yeah, new players don't have the muscle memory for incredibly fast micro. So making a game that is focused on positioning, map knowledge, and slower production time is key. So lastly, it's to have a fun and unique art style. Well, I realize this is kind of weird, but most people, or at least I do, I'll look at a game, and before I even consider buying it, or if I even consider buying it, it has to look cool. I have to be drawn in by it, and then I'll do research, find out if it's cool. If it is, yeah, sure, I'll buy it. But the thing that makes me research the game to see if I want to buy it is the art style. So yeah, look at the most recent popular games, Fall Guys and Among Us. They don't have gritty, realistic graphics or difficult to understand UI. They go for more playful, brightly lit maps and intuitive, simple UI. I'm not saying RTS games have to look like cotton candy vomit, just something simple and unique to make the game seem approachable. So yeah, in reality, I have no clue what the RTS genre will turn into after this announcement. I realize no major changes right after it, but we'll start hurting a couple of years down the road. However, I still have hope for this genre, and I pray that a new revolutionary RTS game releases and wows the whole lot of us.